Hello everybody, welcome back to the 5th review of my Unscripted review series. Now today I will be reviewing Deluxe Class Autobot Jazz from the Studio Series 86 line. I actually got this figure from the Big Bad Toy Store. I will start linking them in the description, but they don't sponsor me yet. I'm too small, but they're a great service, highly recommend them. I'm just going to, if I can find the figures that I'm reviewing on there, I will make sure to link them from the Big Bad Toy Store down below. Anyways, on with the review. Today we are reviewing this figure. I gotta say, I love these boxes. Got some fun detail on the back. The promotional images suck. Got some beautiful art of jazz and the nice little cutout of the backdrop for the 86 and front where you can see the figure. Let's take him and the backdrop out. Here we have Jazz and the wonderful Moon Base 1 backdrop. Now for this figure, I gotta say, I love the backdrop. The backdrop magnificently portrays Moon Base 1. It doesn't really show Unicron, which is honestly pretty nice if you want to just have a nice still frame of Jazz and Moon Base 1. And moving on to the figure's accessories itself, other than the backdrop, he comes with this nice blaster, which I think might be either molded in white plastic and painted silver, or vice versa. Most likely it's just white, casted in white and painted silver. I wouldn't know because I haven't experienced any paint chipping, which this figure doesn't really chip much. I do have one pretty bad case of paint chipping, but I'll get onto that in the vehicle mode. And moving on to the figure Jazz himself is amazing for a deluxe class. I gotta say, I love every bit of detail on him. I love the Autobot logo. I love this head sculpt. I gotta say, they are putting so much care into it. And the kibble is to an absolute minimum. It's not as bad as Masterpiece Bumblebees. I've seen pictures of that, reviews of it, and I'm never going to buy it. I'm never going to waste my money on it. And honestly, for deluxe class, he totally fits the part. For articulation, we have a ball joint at the head. You can look side to side. Rotation at the arms. You can move out. Bicep swivel. 90-degree elbow bend. No swivel at the wrist, but you can push it in if you wanted to for some reason. You have a beautiful spread. Pretty good spread, honestly. You have a bit of a thigh swivel. A nice knee bend, 90-degree bend, but if you use the part used for transformation, it can go further. It looks kind of weird and breaks the mold. You have a bit of a toe bend and an ankle pivot. Now, time for size comparisons. We have Siege Hound, who scales roughly the same height, so Hound is a deluxe class. We have Ultra Magnus from Siege with no armor. It's a bit taller than him. And finally, Studio Series 86, Grimlock, who is so tall, I can't fit him in frame. He just towers over Jazz. He is absolutely massive. For transformation, Jazz has quite a nice transformation, but can be a bit finicky if you don't know it. So you want to take his hands, fold them in, straighten them out, take the backpack, fold it out, flip out the doors, pull out the section. One of my nitpicks here is the fact that they used clear plastic for the joints here, and I don't know why. At least, they're not really much else. Anyways, moving on, just flip up the whole body, swivel the waist around, and then move that. There's another swivel, but you gotta just hold the silver piece in place and just spin it like that, and have this little flap folding down. Just flip the head all the way down and flip this piece up. Bend the arms in. Turn this piece like this. Repeat the same for the other side. There we go. It's the front. For the back, flip the toes in. Fold the pieces up. Fold these pieces up and over like this. Take the legs. Just fold them here. Fold them here. And clip them together. And to get everything all combined, we just gotta make sure we have all the pieces lined up. This back part here can be very tricky because it likes to just not hold in place. So I haven't really devised any tricks for this yet. So just push in and push down the bottom. There we go, like that. Fold down the door and peg it in. Fold down the other door and peg it in if it wants. It just won't go in. There we go. And here we have the car mode. The car mode is wonderful. I love how it looks. I love the engineering for the transformation. He looks absolutely amazing, and he definitely shrinks down. And as I mentioned earlier, this piece the paint can chip really easily on. I think that's just from me scraping the little neck part on there. And overall, the kibble isn't all that much, except from back here you got the little feet hanging out. That can be a bit of a problem. Since they used translucent plastic instead of tinting it, you can see some little bit of robot kibble. If you turn it down, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as some other ones where they just straight up you can just see their whole bodies down there. But you can just it rolls very nicely. And in terms of weapon storage, it's not that bad since you just plug it in. And that becomes his back, so you can, I forgot to mention, you can just peg it in like that if on his back in robot mode, if you really wanted to. As for scale, this guy definitely shrinks down and is much smaller than when he is in robot mode. First, we have Hound. He is bigger than him, not longer, just taller. Then Siege Magnus, who is taller and longer than him. And finally, we have Leader Class Grimlock from the Studio Series 86 line. And yeah, he still towers over him, even more so now. It's really funny how big he is. This figure is absolutely phenomenal. He is completely G1 accurate. He looks amazing. He feels amazing. His engineering is fantastic. Holo gaps are relatively not there. Unfortunately, they are there in the wrist and in the back of the leg, but I'm sure people are making upgrade kits to fix those problems. But, you know, he just looks great. He looks just like him, and there are some nitpicks like the 14, but that's, you know, a reference to the Diaclone catalog and those little curves on the doors. But I honestly, my best guess with that is that it's to help with the copyright issues that they need to, you know, avoid. But hey, I think he's just an overall great figure and the best Jazz we've ever gotten. So my verdict with bias, 10 out of 10. Easy. And without bias, I gotta say, I think it's going to be a 9. He's amazing. He barely falls short with any flaws. He barely has any flaws, but due to the paint chipping problem, the clear plastic joints here, and maybe some of the hollow spaces, and the fact there's no wrist swivel, when they could definitely fit one in, it's pretty good. I highly recommend this. It's definitely worth the $20, and I'll link it down below in the Big Bad Toy Store. So thank you for watching. This has been the 5th review out of the Unscripted reviews. Please leave a like and subscribe. If you really wish, you can always unsubscribe. Follow my Twitch and my Twitter. I announce everything on my Twitter. So have a good day, and I'll see you all next time.